welcome. This video shows us that by using science, we are going to be able to see a picture that accurately depicts a description written of in the Bible that is absolutely going to be taking place in just a few years from now. Please let me share with you what I believe Jesus is revealing to us through John's vision as described in Revelation 12:1 and 2. Revelation 12:1 and 2 says, "A great and wondrous sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth." A number of years ago, I was inspired by the documentary The Star of Bethlehem. This documentary has been watched by millions of people. If you haven't seen it yet, you can view it on YouTube. This documentary uses NASA-developed software known as Starry Night. It shows a celestial event that fulfills all 9 of the unique characteristics of the Star of Bethlehem as described in the book of Matthew. It further shows celestial alignments coinciding with the conception and birth of Jesus, the arrival of the Magi, also known as the wise men, and it goes on to show the celestial events happening the day and the hour of Jesus' crucifixion. After watching this documentary, I was compelled to do my own research using the free software called Stellarium. Although this amazing software uses the same mathematical formulas as the NASA versions, I found out that it had a mistake. Located in between 1 BC and 1 AD, this software had a 0 year. I was shown that I had to compensate for that year in order to replicate the signs and alignments they showed us using the Starry Night program that was in the documentary. It was while I was online troubleshooting the 0 year problem when I stumbled upon the September 23rd, 2017 alignment. And this is what it looks like. Let me reread Revelation 12:1 and 2. "A great and wondrous sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth." So we have the woman clothed in the sun, with the moon at her feet, 12 stars crowning her head. Leo is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars, and then 3 floating stars or planets. Makes a total of 12. And she was pregnant with Jupiter, the king planet. Let me take the artwork off. You might be able to see that a little bit better. A woman clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, 12 stars crowning her head, and pregnant. Theologians have come up with dozens of clever descriptions trying to explain what John was seeing. However, none of those descriptions that I have read have had anything to do with looking for the sign up in heaven with the sun, the moon, and the stars. Well, I think this alignment that we're looking at shows us just what John was seeing. If you're like me and like checking things out for yourself, you can Google Stellarium and then download it. The first screen that you see should look something like this. Let's click on the atmosphere, get rid of the sun, click on the ground, move the cursor over here to the constellation lines, click on the constellation names, and the constellation artwork. If you move slightly to the right, there's something that looks like a telescope, and it changes the perspective a little bit. Now if we zoom in just a little bit, we can see the woman clothed in the sun. Let's get a date box up here. Let's see what date we're looking at. We're looking at October of 2013, woman clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, and let's see, we've got the 9 stars that make up the constellation Leo, and we have Mars, one of the floating stars, as in the Bible, or planets, to make it 10, but not 12, and she's also not pregnant. So let's go ahead and move to the next year, 2014. And let's go ahead and go back a day at a time till we see the moon come into the picture. There it is. Let's click back a day. Okay, so once again we have the woman clothed in the sun, moon at her feet. We're going to check the stars, only 9 stars, and once again not pregnant. So let's move ahead to the year 2015. Move day by day until we get the moon coming across our screen. Here it comes under Leo, down her side and down by her feet. And we have the woman clothed in the sun. It's actually more like a mini skirt down kind of about her waist. And moon at her feet. And now this is interesting. We do have the constellation Leo. Let's zoom in a little bit. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 3 planets for a total of 12 stars crowning her head. Let's back out again. But she's not pregnant. The sun's kind of weird. The moon's a little off. Not pregnant, but 12 stars. So that's interesting, but close but no cigar. Let's move on to 2016. Back up a little bit till that moon comes into focus again. You can see how the planets day by day change their location. Here's the moon down at her feet, clothed in the sun. Looks like a little meteorite shooting by there. Hopefully heading towards Russia probably. Only 9 stars crowning her head and not pregnant. Let's move forward another year. Go back in time till that moon comes across. Don't see them. Oh, there's the moon. Moon underneath her feet, clothed in the sun, and 12 stars crowning her head, and she's pregnant with Jupiter. So 9/23/2017 is the only one that I could find, and that was just going through 2013 through 2017, kind of an example of how I check the alignments. I checked them from 1848 to the year 2101, but this one only being the only one that matched up. As I was checking the alignments, I decided to use 1948, the year of Israel becoming a country again, as a reference point. Over 10 scriptures talk about this event, and it is widely thought of as the generation of Jesus' return. As I was going back towards 1848, I realized that it was a waste of time. The woman clothed in the sun is in the sky during the daytime. It would only be visible to the generation that has our computer technology. Now let's take a quick look at the 6 other alignments that I came across that were similar, but they just didn't quite fit the whole description. This is 1889, September 27th. We do have the woman clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, and Leo does have the 9 stars plus 3 is 12, but she's not pregnant, so close, but not good enough. September 28th, 1908, woman clothed in the sun, moon at her feet. Nice alignment of stars crowning her head. Mars kind of low though, so we have 11 here and the 12th one down kind of low. So close, but not the description. 9/16, 1977, clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, and 12 stars crowning her head, but not pregnant. Moving into the future, 9/22, clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, Venus, Saturn, Mercury combined with the other 9 to create 12 stars crowning her head, but once again, not pregnant. Into the future again, October 1st, 2095, clothed in the sun, moon at her feet, Venus and Saturn and Mercury combining with the other 9 to create 12 stars crowning your head, but not pregnant. Let's move forward one more year. 2096. 9/20/2096. Clothed in the sun, moon at her feet. We'll take a close look here. These are kind of overlapping. We've got Leo with Saturn, Mars, and Mercury. So that combined with the 9 would make the 12 stars crowning the head. And let me switch this off of the artwork, and we'll see that Venus is very close down here, but not quite making her pregnant. So a very close alignment in the future, 2096, but just not quite. So once again, only September 23rd, 2017 has all the characteristics as described by John in Revelation 12, 1 and 2. So now we have some dates, or actually I'd rather say that we have some reference points. The 1948 Israel becoming a country again, and the September 23, 2017 Revelation 12, 1 and 2 celestial alignment. These events, these prophecies fulfilled, seem to indicate to us that the things described in the book of Revelation may soon or may be currently beginning to take place. You may be asking yourself, what should I do in response to this information? I'm so glad you asked. If you're a religious leader, I ask you to consider investigating these events. If no other viable explanation arises, it is my hope that you would feel compelled to share with your followers and others the possibilities of what these reference points could mean. All believers need to have this information so they can decipher for themselves what it means and what to do about it. Many people that I have spoken with also believe that sharing this information is considered part of a religious leader's duty. If you are a believer in Christ, I ask you to consider doing likewise. If the doctor told you that you only had a few weeks to live, that might prompt you to talk to a family member or friend that you always had intended to talk to about Jesus and the Bible but never found the time. I think we should be ready to share our individual testimonies, but also be ready to share about the authenticity of the Bible, God, and the fact that Jesus loves us and died on the cross to pay for our iniquities in order for us to be in heaven with Him. Time may be short, and sharing with others can be difficult. One way of sharing that my family is trying is for us to put together packets of information and to give them to our family and friends. We can use information found in books, DVDs, and downloads, or wherever we find examples of the authenticity of the Bible. This can include comparisons of other ancient manuscripts with the Bible and see which one holds up to scrutiny the best. It can also include examining information on the vast number of archaeological discoveries that confirm the Bible's accuracy, and also by comparing the so-called prophets such as Nostradamus to the prophets of the Bible and their vast number of prophecies that have come true and currently continue to be fulfilled today. In some cases, we include science information that is unbiased and presents the creation side of science fairly, and not just evolution as the only explanation as to the questions of the origins of life, where we came from, and our purpose in life. There are many areas where science, as presented in the schools, tends to overlook things when it comes to biblical events. But further investigation shows that science confirms biblical events. If you are not yet a believer, you can do the research and decide for yourself if you're going to take Jesus' invitation to accept His love and payment for your iniquities. Maybe this is the time to talk to that friend or loved one who has been trying to tell you about Jesus and the Bible.